Action.
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 Can I get a little more enthusiasm?
Action. The juice is loose.
The juice is
Can we
loose.
say that with JJ? Does that make it weird?
Beetlejuice, the sequel we never thought we would get with a returning cast that no one thought they would do.
It's one of those ones that we didn't need.
No,
right?
Michael Keaton said
we'll
it.
Start there.
He's like, we shouldn't have touched this. I agree.
But I'm not mad at it.
No,
and they managed to, and we talked about this weeks ago, if you don't bring it on a 30-plus-year-old sequel, why'd you do it?
Why'd you do it? You got to bring it, man.
First thing I'll say is they made the world feel like the Beetlejuice world.
Yes.
And that was impressive.
Yes. We spend a lot more time in the afterlife than in the first movie. Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, I know this is still more relatively new.
We can't spoil too much.
Yeah, this is first weekend stuff.
Right. But the basic plot is the father of Winona Ryder's character dies.
Yeah, Charles Dietz?
Yes.
Charles
in a
Dietz.
weird claymation sequence that was really weird and unnecessary. And
I mean, then
from
again,
whose point of view is that coming from? Like,
I saw why they
guy,
did it,
they had to write out because he's like,
he wasn't in it.
or because he did some
I
diddling.
think he did some.
Oh, did he?
shady Shit.
Did he?
Did a little diddling.
I didn't know the
P.
whole
Diddy?
thing.
I got it. Now JJ got it.
That's what I was waiting for.
Damn.
No, but that's the real reason. Yeah.
He did a voice for this, or was that ADR or some AI
probably
bullshit? Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's the main plot that brings our characters back together. Lydia and her daughter Astrid who's literally just Wednesday from the Netflix Wednesday show. It's literally just Wednesday, like literally.
Burton's like, we got some extra time while we're filming Wednesday.
The promos were like Wednesday walked so Astrid could run or whatever. Like. I'm like, that shouldn't be the only reason you casted her. I'm like, she's a good actress.
Yeah,
like,
she really is.
Put her in a different role that's not emo, disturbed,
she's
typecast.
Typecast bad.
We don't need it.
There's no reason.
We don't need
for
it. She can. Yeah, I hate it. But she wasn't the worst part
Back
about
to
this
Beetlejuice.
movie.
No, honestly, there was no glaring weakness to this movie. There was no like, oh my god.
No.
The biggest problem, and I agree with you, is there was too much going on.
Too much going on, man.
Too many bad guys.
You got main Charles Dietz plot that brings them to the house. You have Beetlejuice plot. You have Beetlejuice's ex-wife plot. You have weird
Astrid's plot.
Astrid boyfriend plot.
Dead boyfriend.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
What?
Spoilers.
Is it though? Is it not the most obvious thing on the planet? Is it not? Like
he's like, if JJ figured it out.
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh. This is
But like they try to pull the wool over our eyes, but like at least with like Ghostbusters Afterlife when she's like with the ghost chick, like it's clearly a ghost chick.
Right.
Like we didn't need 4 plot lines going on in like a 2-hour movie.
Sheesh.
It almost I really feel like there's going to be a third one.
You think so? Well, yeah,
I really
can see
do.
it.
And I feel like because of that, they should have kneecapped one of these plot lines.
And saved it.
Gave it like a cliffhanger mid-movie to bring back to wrap it all up in the third.
Because now
like
they
the
have so
ex-wife
much
plot.
stuff to.
That should have been the third movie.
But that's like so they can rehash the he has to marry Lydia plot. You know what I
She
mean?
still could have brought that back because she needs his help, and the help is if you marry me, I'll help you.
Right.
You don't need the ex-wife for that.
True.
You don't need any of that.
You just do the ghost plot.
You just
Ghost boy
do
plot.
It without that, and it works fine.
Yeah.
Then you could bring the ex-wife back in the third one and be like, "Oh, that's why he's
Especially
the way he
when
is
she
and the way
just
he is."
like shows up and is like the antagonist.
Yeah.
And then
Like-
like just like goes away at the end. Like
Yeah, that's what I mean,
I
like-
thought it was like a crossover between Morticia Adams or something like
Yeah.
that. Because she looks
the
so...
Corpse's Bride.
yeah, and like
Corpse-
Bride of
see,
Frankenstein
Corpse
or
I mean,
yeah.
that's a given. Tim Burton.
Tim Burton.
Why did she look like Morticia Adams from the Addams
Claymation,
Family?
Coraline.
It did. See, and we talked about this about Tim Burton. Tim Burton came out in the late '80s and put some.
He
amazing
came out?
movies out. I'm saying as a director, you know what I'm saying? Like Batman Returns,
Yeah.
Beetlejuice,
Oh, yeah.
Edward Scissorhands.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Sleepy Hollow. Did he do Sleep Hollow?
Did he do Sleepy Hollow?
I'm not
I
sure.
can't remember now. Probably.
Working on
I mean,
Nightmare
Johnny
Before
Depp was
Christmas
in it,
and,
and
Nightmare
and all
Before
that.
Christmas they produced.
And then
Yeah.
Helena Bonham
Yeah,
Carter.
because they were like
They were a thing.
married. So yeah.
Yeah.
This was the best movie he's had in a long time.
Really?
I think.
Okay.
Like it felt like an actual classic Tim Burton movie.
Yeah.
Not like a forced like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory or Dumbo, like things that don't need Tim Burton's spin on them. You know
Wait. He directed Dumbo?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's why it's weird as hell.
The original
Or
Dumbo?
the new one with Danny DeVito from a couple years ago.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
I did not know
It's
that.
not a good movie.
I never saw it.
Because, like, Dumbo didn't need the Tim Burton treatment.
No. That's not... No.
Danny DeVito, by the way, in this movie for a little bit as a cameo.
I would like to be a main character.
I did
but
like the soul sucking, like the people are just like juice boxes basically, and then she like discards them at the end.
Him trying, Beetlejuice trying to run a call center was funny. It's like getting things together to run a call center is really funny. Too.
He's like the boss, and all they all like they remind me of like the Goombas from the Mario movie,
just like the Goombas.
except they're wearing yellow instead of like the red. Yeah,
Oh
really
God.
weird. Yeah, aside from being like every Tim Burton movie ever, like it gave me Edward Scissorhand vibes when they're in like the real world at the house. Like,
it felt like they picked right back up from the other one, which is hard to do because that was an '80s movie, and '80s movies have a feel. They have a vibe.
This one had the opening credits, like that looked like it was from
what I'm
the
saying, and
80s.
they
Yeah,
managed to nail that, and that's what I was worried about the most. And that right there, I'm like, it's gonna be decent.
Yeah.
they got you in that world, so even if the story is,
And it didn't give me that like cheesy 80s feel.
no,
it didn't have the we're making it because we want to make money. It didn't feel like it.
No.
right.
Even though it is why they made it,
But it doesn't feel
didn't-
like
it. Didn't feel like we have to do Beetlejuice 2 because money.
Right.
Because money. Yeah, but they threw too much into it. You're so
They were
right.
almost too
Yeah,
excited.
it's like we'll
let's
never
make a
get.
6-hour movie, and it's like, well, no,
We don't have time.
it's too short.
It was way
you
too
don't
short.
See Beetlejuice for like 20 minutes.
I know.
Into the movie, and then they cut away again, and you don't see him again for another 15 or 20 minutes, and I'm like, we're an hour.
Well, because we got to establish their relationship between Lydia and Astrid, and Lydia is like so far removed from where her character is at the. You know, in the first Beetlejuice, like, weren't
I
you
do
like
like
emo,
the-
disturbed, and now you're just like a sellout? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
Yeah, I did like that little twist at the beginning. How they did that with,
like she's got a TV show
TV
about
show.
seeing ghosts. It's like,
Yeah.
no, but you can actually
But you can
see
actually see
ghosts.
one.
Like, you don't need to resort to like weird gimmicks and shit.
No,
like,
my problem is the casting though is too on the nose. Like every time Justin throws in a movie, he's the bad guy, or he's the douchey guy that ends up doing the bad thing. The second you see his face, you're like, oh, I know how this is gonna end. Right? And same with William Dafoe. He's never the hero. He never shows up as the hero.
why is Willem Dafoe in this movie?
Not needed.
I
It
did
didn't
not
matter.
mind the collab with Willem Dafoe.
But he was
though.
welcome.
I love Willem Dafoe.
But like Ryan
Yeah.
said,
Like, you want a picture?
You want a picture? Take a selfie right now.
I'm an actor. Yeah.
it's just they just
And
were
they do like that bit where he's like, I do my own stunts,
And then
you
you
know,
just
and
see
I
the side of
wouldn't,
his head.
I wouldn't let some other guy do it for me, you know. It's like because he does all his own stunts,
That's
you
what I
know.
mean,
So
it's a
yeah,
charming movie.
Yeah.
This and I feel like I don't know if you agree
Very
with me.
fun.
I would have taken like a cool like a 5-episode series on HBO of like getting all the original cast back and then really digging into the afterworld or afterlife world that they have because that's what they really gave us in
Yep.
this one. But like really get into that.
sink your teeth in,
Yeah.
because it does look like a world I want to
I would-
like
yeah.
explore.
Give me that world.
Yeah.
Give me a
I
whole
wouldn't be
movie of
mad
just
at that.
that.
I would not be mad at that.
Careful, because they've done they're doing Inside Out's getting their dream sequence show.
Oh, no.
They did Monsters at Work
See,
that
that's the
didn't work
problem, is
out
we get it
well.
for things that we
that don't need it. Yeah,
You know, like I want to take deep dives into this universe.
Yes.
yeah.
Like why? I don't know.
They'll do it. They'll do some Bob spin-off or whatever.
Dear
You know what I
God.
mean? Like Michael Keaton will show up for the beginning of the first episode and the ending of the last episode, like as
Knuckles
Beetlejuice,
show.
starring Idris Elba. Yeah, Beetlejuice Afterlife.
Michael Keaton killed it though.
Yes.
Yeah,
To me, he walked
Yeah.
right back in and was like, "Hey, I'm Beetlejuice."
juice is
and,
loose.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And I at least he got to enjoy it, and they didn't Batman him and put him in like a canceled movie and a movie that he wishes was canceled, right? Because
he was much better in this than he was in the Flash movie. Like regardless of Flash like being what it
have
was.
fun. Like he's like, "Oh, I get to."
You want to get nuts?
Beetlejuice.
Yeah,
wanna
let's get nuts.
Let's go.
You want to get juice? Let's get juice.
Yeah, I just wish my main complaint besides too many
Too many cooks.
cooks.
Yeah.
Was that like if you're gonna go that route, you need to bring back Alec Baldwin and Gina Davis even for 30 seconds.
Like
Even I don't need vague references.
They
to
moved
them.
on.
Yeah, they said,
How
oh, there's a
convenient.
loophole.
Yeah.
They found a loophole and
Yeah.
then they moved on. No,
They-
I needed
they
to see the.
accepted it and
No,
moved
I needed
on.
to see the Maitlands. I needed to.
Yeah, like no.
Yeah, wouldn't that have been a better plot
Even if it's-
for your fucking movie?
That could have been the start of the movie, and then they flash forward 20 years. Like maybe Lydia's talking to them as they're like, "Hey, we're moving on. We figured out how to move on. We're out of here." And then like that could have set up the whole.
Hold on,
reason why
Right.
she-
there's a ghost. There's a ghost. It's
Skeeters.
Beetlejuice.
God.
He's like,
Like, to me, that would have been a way better setup to start the movie instead of the whole fake you out with the TV thing. Like,
Yes.
having
Right.
her
Right.
say goodbye to them, which
Right.
is what caused her to not have her gift
Damn
work
it.
because they left. So she's
I know.
like that one
Yeah,
little.
we found a
minute
loophole. It
Yeah.
literally cuts to Jenna Ortega, and she's like, "How convenient." Like, you wrote that.
You wrote it.
You wrote that,
Dear
though.
God.
But
don't
you
get
wrote
to
that.
marry your own shitty
No.
no.
Fuck. Just
No.
pay money. Like, Catherine O'Hara came back. Winona Ryder came
Yeah.
back. Michael
Like,
Keaton came
everybody
back.
came back, but I'm like,
Where's Alec Baldwin and Gina? There it
I
is.
know. I
Like
know.
the heart and the main characters of the first movie.
Exactly.
Like Lydia and the family are all secondary characters
Yes.
to the Maitlands, who
Yeah.
are like the protagonists of the
I
fucking
know.
movie.
I know.
Uh,
That was my main issue. And again, yeah, I don't care what the reasons are. If
Or
you're-
don't mention it.
don't mention it. At
don't
all.
even-
Don't even mention it.
Don't even mention it.
Then people would have
Yeah.
bitched about it, but I'd rather have no mention than well, they moved. They did it. Oh,
Oh,
okay.
cool. How
That was-
convenient.
that was the crux of the whole first movie.
I
but
know.
sure.
Just gonna brush that off. Yeah, this hit cult classic. We're just gonna brush the main plot off.
really,
Yeah.
though.
Ugh.
But again, they do retread the first one a little, but not in such a Star Wars
The wedding.
way.
Yeah.
But that's
Let's
like,
do that again.
But that's
Yeah.
that's his thing, and that's why how
true.
he thinks that's his way out always. Like
Yeah.
that- by going back and you know what I mean, the whole trying to set up the original marriage plot kind of is like that's his thing. So
Like he
fine,
just wants to shag.
fine.
Yeah.
But I liked how they turned from the Beetlejuice being the bad guy to basically getting
They're working with him.
screwed over though, you know, without spoilers at the end. Like they-
Yeah, that is
which is
true.
really messed up. Which they should do a third one based just because like he finally is a good person and tries to help, and they're like, nah.
Yeah.
nah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you're right. Michael Keaton was really good.
I loved him.
I
I
like
thought
the
he was
afterlife
great.
stuff. The weird musical number at the end was
that was
They
out
were
of
trying
out
to-
of place.
They were trying to do the
sequel
Deo.
Yep.
They were trying to do the
That's literally
Deo.
what that was.
Oh my God! Can we talk about? I said this in the trailer about the funeral kids singing the banana song. I said this in the trailer. I'm like, there is no way they're actually singing
Yeah.
that song
Yeah,
at the
We
funeral.
had an argument about that.
I was like,
Yeah.
adamant that
Yeah.
that was just for the trailer. No.
and I told you, I doubt
They're going to
that.
sing this song that completely traumatized them as a family, and they were going to go into business with these ghosts and then had to exorcise them, and then a giant third-dimensional sandworm. Let's play it at our dad's
Hey,
funeral.
Remember all that? Yeah, good times. Day-o.
It's like if your father was like getting tortured to like Brown-Eyed Girl, you're like, let's pick
play
that
that.
as his funeral song. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
That was such a, and the song's great and the kids are great, but it's like, put it somewhere else.
See-
Make it the opening of the movie.
Yeah.
Like,
Something like that.
oh my God.
They didn't resort as bad as other movies do with the nostalgia over your head as much. Not as bad.
Yeah.
But that was like the most overt, blatant, in your face.
And it's like
you
pan to the
remember.
characters all
You
just sitting
remember.
there like mourning as they're singing. I'm like, I can't take this seriously.
Tim
So why
Burton.
are you trying to make me take it
Tim
seriously?
This is why I told you, he's got his weaknesses. Like things that he thinks are weird and cool are just like bad writing.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
that doesn't make it
Like,
weird or cool.
You watch people's mouths get sewn onto their fucking face. You watched a guy have
Yeah.
eyeballs on his fingers. Like, what the fuck?
His fingers.
His fingers. Eyeballs on his fingers. They couldn't finger it out.
Eight out of 10 eyeballs on her fingers.
Fucking Tony, love you, Tony.
My son loved it. He was like, I think it was better than the first one.
Well, your kid is
Okay,
really into
hold on,
Beetlejuice,
hold
right?
He loves Beetlejuice. He went to New York and saw the musical on Broadway,
Yes.
and
Okay.
he's super duper into.
I like Beetlejuice too.
Like,
love the cartoon. Love the
love the
original.
cartoon, yeah.
Yeah.
Cartoon's great.
Cartoon's
Yeah,
great.
Yeah.
Bring back the cartoon.
And all like the Burger King toys.
Where's
the,
Beetlejuice
like-
97? You know what I'm saying?
I literally bought like the whole complete series of the cartoon just so I can watch it.
Yeah.
Damn, okay.
Fuck yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Beetlejuice cartoon rips.
Yes.
It's a good franchise. It's a good
No,
IP. It's
I
a good
definitely
character.
like- Yes.
Them
Yeah.
exploring that more.
Yeah.
If we can bring Ghostbusters back, then we can.
Ghostbusters X Beetlejuice. I like where your head's at.
Ooh.
So, I will say before I give a score, I liked it enough that I definitely would take a third one to wrap it all up. And I think you have to now with the naming scheme that you've started. You
Yes.
have to. You can't just do Beetlejuice and Beetlejuice.
No.
Without the
You have to have.
He can. The sign is Beetlejuice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
is it
Like
gonna
the
be
sign that points to him on the
Beetlejuice
graveyard.
It's Showtime or no?
Yeah, but the three.
Beetlejuice 3, it's Showtime. But the E at the end of the Showtime is a 3.
God. Did you guys get a time machine again?
Yeah. Michael Keaton's getting old. So if they're going to do it, they got to.
Now,
And Winona Ryder's getting old. And
Yes,
Catherine O'Hara's getting
It's gonna
old.
make enough
Yeah.
money. That's probably it goes from 35 years from 1 to 2 to a year or two before we get the third one.
Yeah,
That's
and
probably
then they
what's
do
gonna
that, and well, I don't want to spoil anything, but the weird fucking end scene where it like cuts in like Jenna Ortega's getting married.
oh yeah, that.
And then,
happen.
like-
is it a
and
dream
then-
or was it a dream?
Well, but Jenna
It was
Ortega's
all
like
a dream.
the same age. They don't like age her up at all.
No.
Like not even a
Which
little
is
bit.
why, like I'm saying, and we are getting the spoilers, so turn it off if you don't want to. But
I just want to talk about this weird fucking
It was
end,
just-
end
the
cap.
end gives.
yeah.
That's why you're supposed to be confused. I'll give them
Yeah.
credit. It's like, is it a dream? Is it
But
something
I'm like-
she remembered
I'm,
because it
I'm like
happened and now-
uncomfortable.
right?
You know, like by this point, I'm like, it's like this two fantasy world like
Yeah.
thing. You
Well,
know
she's,
what I
like,
mean?
Layers deep now. Like
Right.
that's why I think they leave it like now she's back to being able to communicate again. Now she's screwed because she screwed Beetlejuice and now like he isn't-
Okay.
he's not gone and that's what I feel like
True.
you got to get a third one.
But it was weird.
It was very.
Because she's like pregnant, and then like on the operating, I'm like,
Yeah, that was.
I'm like
cool as
in the
shit.
middle of texting Jay. I'm like, this movie's fucking weird, man. Like, and then she like gives birth to like baby Beetlejuice. Like,
Baby Beetlejuice, yes.
I'm like, what the
That
the
was
fuck?
that rivaled Aliens as far as creepiness.
I
That was
know.
1,000 times creepier than the chest burster.
I know.
by a million %.
Exactly.
Because you're like, you're already uncomfortable
It's,
from like,
smiling,
yeah,
It's like,
yeah, fucking
If that thing bursted out my chest, way worse.
Aw,
than-
man.
kill me.
Yeah.
Put a bullet in my brain. Yeah. Numbers out of 10. What's our rating? Let's get out of here. JJ, you start.
I'll give it an 8.6.
8 point. Wow.
Yes.
Now, what would you give the original Beetlejuice? That's got to be like a
It's
9.
classic.
That's a good 9.
That's a good fucking movie, man.
Yes.
That's a solid movie. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd give the original like probably like an 8.5.
Yeah.
This-
It's up there.
This one, I enjoy. It was fun. It's a fun movie, and it's definitely one that I could put on and watch in the background a
Yep.
bunch of times because the
Yep.
world. That's a Halloween movie.
Yes.
better believe.
I'm so happy I can add this to like the
That-
rotation.
Yes.
happy
Yeah.
about.
I can add it.
I'd say, I'll give it a 7.7.
Wow. Very high. Okay. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10.
Okay. See, I like
'Cause-
this way more than Alien, and I give Alien a 7.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
These are both good Halloween movies.
Yes.
Yes. It reminded
like,
me
this
a
is a fun
lot
movie.
of like
Yes,
when they try to do Hocus Pocus 2.
Yes, but this nailed it.
Yeah.
In comparison.
In comparison.
Like Hocus Pocus 2.
Felt like a Disney Channel original movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like at least a
90%
blockbuster.
Of the way to
Yeah.
Beetlejuice 1, which is about the best you're going to do.
Yeah.
It still wasn't the Ghostbusters reboot that we got.
No.
And I know people hated the sequel to the reboot, but that first one, the Afterlife, right? Yeah. 'cause
Yes.
Empire's the other one.
Yes.
Afterlife is like a 9. That is one of the best. I love that movie. That is up there with Ghostbusters 1. It is
It's
like
really good.
just
But they didn't even try and do like an 80s aesthetic. Like, yeah, they
No,
go to
you're
like
right.
kind of a small town, but it's still pretty modern. You know what I mean?
You're right. They went to like a town that's just like behind the times. So they actually that's a good loophole. Like
And
you're
they
out
do
in the
that for
Midwest.
this movie, but it still feels like an 80s,
It
like
does,
northern small town. You
weird.
know what I mean? Like it's they did it right, and Tim Burton knows how to do it. Like
Yeah,
Tim Burton
he-
should do a Ghostbusters movie. Fucking
See, he'd be okay with Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
I just say like outside of that franchise or like finishing this, I think he'd start wrap it up. He's like 70. It's time.
He's
to
getting up
like,
there, man.
It's time to wrap it up.
yeah. Either do a third one of this
And then
or
that's it.
call it a night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Call-
Like if
call
they
it.
do, I would take a third Beetlejuice and probably one more Johnny Depp movie.
Yeah, if he could find something good to work
Willy
with Johnny
Wonka.
Depp.
Dear God.
Willie
Charlie.
meets Charlie.
Dear God.
So
What-
they
did
already
you get,
did
what-
that.
What was the score?
7 out of 10.
7. That's right.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So another positive movies.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I texted you. I was like, it's weird, and kind of all over the place. But I'm like, it's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very fun.
They got the spirits there, and I think that was the important part.
Yeah,
It
for sure.
needed to come out at the end of this month, or maybe at the beginning of October.
Yeah.
A couple more weeks.
That would.
October's stacked, though, with horror movies.
Yeah, I know, but it's like this is totally like they say Halloween. It's a fall movie. It's a Halloween
I think it'll have
movie.
legs, though.
Like there's trick or treating. It's like guys, August. It just
want
ended.
this to
We,
Top
we're
Gun,
just out of
though.
August.
From last year. They release it now, and it's going to carry all the way through Halloween.
For me though, for the one who matters. Okay, let me have it.
Sounds like he's doing a diamond commercial. For the one that matters. The only issue with Beetlejuice, because we were talking in the review about a sequel.
Yeah.
Maybe getting a third one. Just like Twisters, these are domestic-heavy movies. They don't have a lot of appeal outside.
Really?
Like,
Twisters, I can
Twisters
see.
is going to get close
yeah.
to 300 million domestically and still only not even do 500 million worldwide because nobody else cared in the rest
'Cause
of
it's
the
like-
world. Because it's like, I'm chasing some tornadoes.
Yeah.
So-
Tornadoes.
I don't. I can see why that's not hitting. Beetlejuice, though, is a little weird to me.